Hello everyone, welcome back. It's Mace coming to you from Western Canada. Today's video, 10 things you must know before visiting Australia. The thumbnail was pretty funny. It's got like a snake like striking from inside the toilet bowl. This snake's gonna come up, and yeah, that's an unpleasant thought, isn't it? So let's hop into it. Let's see how hyperbolic that is or not. Let's just jump right into it. Let's take a gander and see what this is all about. Check out the glasses and the earring and the hairstyle today on Tristan. Hey, got an amateur cat in here. Of course, classic annoying.
What's good, y'all? Tristan here, and today I'll be sharing with you 10 things you must know before visiting Australia. I've been traveling Australia for over a year, and there are a couple things I wish I knew before I came here. So let's get into it. 10 things you must know about Australia before you visit. Alright, first up, you must know what these flags right here mean. The problem with these flags is if you're not from Australia, you probably have no idea what they
Something on a beach that's a warning of some kind, I would suppose.
mean. But if you're from Australia, they're so common knowledge that you just assume everyone knows what they mean. These flags right here show where it is safe to swim. So if you're on the beach looking to hop in, go look for these flags. There'll be two of them. Anywhere between those two flags is where it's safe.
No, it's not a warning. It's actually a safety flag.
Australian oceans are no joke. They have some of the strongest rip currents in the world, and every single year some tourists make the news for not following these rules, getting taken by a rip current 5 miles out to sea, and you don't want to be that tourist. So when you see these flags, swim between them. Now number 2, when you're in Australia, don't speed. I can't emphasize this enough. They have speed cameras all over Australia. They are super strict. If you're going just a couple Ks or miles over the speed limit past one of these, they'll take a picture of your license plate and mail you a very hefty fine in the mail. I had a friend who didn't know about these, and he accumulated about $3,000 worth of tickets in just 2 months of driving. Also, don't be on your phone.
$3,000 in 2 months of driving. Lately I've been driving slower because my vehicle gets better gas mileage if I'm not trying to speed everywhere. I just take it nice and easy. Man. And yeah, it's fantastic spending less money on gas, because one of my vehicles is really bad on gas. One of my vehicles is really good on gas. So I've been driving the one that's good on gas lately. My wife usually drives it, but yeah, I've been driving that lately. It's been fantastic. I can bike to work too, but sometimes I'm just lazy.
Because they have phone cameras as well, so they can tell somehow if you're on your phone, and you'll get a ticket for that as well. And 3 is don't be upset.
Literally, being on your phone is essentially just as bad as drunk driving. Like, yeah, like it's you're taking your eyes away, and you're looking at your phone for say 3 to 4 seconds, up to 5 seconds. One 1,000, 2 1,000. So people are gonna try to like look at their phone, like look up, right? They're gonna be like, right, they're driving. But sometimes they're like trying to finish a text, and that's all it takes for somebody to walk out in front of you or like, right? So it's bad, man. It's bad.
And just expect to pay extra for sauce. Not if you're at a nicer sit-down restaurant, but if you're at any grab-and-go place, burger joint, fish and chip shop, anything like casual food, they're gonna charge you for like any sauce. Like it doesn't matter, barbecue sauce, ketchup, like whatever you want, mayonnaise. If you're at a place like KFC, just gives you like a little packet of it, those are gonna be about 50 cents. But if they give you a little like side dish of it, it's gonna be about $1 to $2. But hey, you don't have to tip there, so you're good on that end. And
yeah, it depends here. Like ketchup packets are usually free. You can just grab ketchup packets or take ketchup with you, whatever. But if it's like specialty sauce for like dipping, like a dipping sauce, that's usually, depending on what you're ordering, you're going to get 1 with your meal, maybe 2. But usually you have to pay extra for any subsequent sauces.
Number 4, if you're going to be buying alcohol or going to clubs, you might want to bring your passport for you if you're not from Australia. This varies greatly depending where in Australia you're at. So for example, when I was in Melbourne, they were really strict on it. Certain liquor stores, certain clubs, they would not let you in without a passport. And there in Victoria, that is the law. But at the same time, there are plenty of bars and clubs and, I don't know, like bottle shops and whatnot, where they'll serve you with just a driver's license. But those places are kind of bending the rules a bit, but I don't know. You also go to places like Queensland, where I never was asked once for my passport, so it really varies greatly. Now, number 5 is get used to swearing. If you hear people saying like bad words around you, don't be offended by it. Cussing is just a big part of Australian culture, and it's used a lot more there in just everyday language. Number 6, expect and be ready to pay at the counter when ordering food at restaurants. So it's really common there not to bring your check to the table, so either they might go to your table, get your order and whatnot, you eat, then when you're done, you go to, I don't know, a certain like checkout place to pay. Or sometimes you'll go up to the bar or like ordering station and you'll tell the bartender like your order, like your food order, not drink order, and then they'll put it through and bring it to your table. But don't end up like me sitting at your table like, What is taking so long? Like, waiter. All right, y'all, number 7, and this is a big one. So, if you're about to go to the bathroom, make sure you check carefully in the toilet before you sit down.
Check the toilets for snakes? What? No, come on. Are Aussies really like, like walking in the bathroom like, oh, I'm good.
Australia is known for their abundance of super venomous snakes and spiders, and sometimes these snakes like to curl up in the toilets for warmth. The last thing you want is a venomous snake coming out and biting your ass. I'm just kidding. None of that is true. The truth is that Australia isn't that deadly, and you shouldn't be worried about the venomous animals there at all. Matter of fact, you are way more likely to die from an animal like a horse, a cow, a bee, even a shark attack, than you are to die from a snake or
a horse, a cow, a bee, a peanut. Makes me think. There's a scene in Trailer Park Boys where Ricky, the character, he's not the sharpest tool in the shed. He's like a poster in a school that says Peanuts, the silent killer, and he's like, a peanut? How the F can a peanut kill somebody?
or a spider in Australia. Every American I knew when I was about to leave was, oh, watch out for the snakes, watch out for the spiders. There's so many poisonous stuff in Australia. I do tons of hiking, and not once have I seen a poisonous snake or spider in my time in Australia. Want to know some facts? Not a single person has died from a spider bite in Australia in over 40 years. And snakes? Well, you're just as likely to die from a dog attacking you. It doesn't happen, it's just not a rational thing to worry about when coming to Australia. Now, number 8 is you need to know that driving on the left side of the road, most likely the other side for you, is easy. People are often really worried to drive in Australia, to rent a car, and I'm here to tell you, don't be. Myself and tons of backpackers and people that I met, we all rented cars, and it's so easy. Like, you instantly adjust to it. Like, you get in your lane and you just, I don't know, just the way the lanes go, it's not hard to switch to the other side like you might think. The only thing that'll probably give you trouble is when you're going to hit your blinker or your windshield wiper, you're probably going to accidentally hit the other one because they're switched. But aside from that, you're all good. Now, number 9, this is probably, it might be the most important one on this list. And that...
Oh, so your blinker thing is on the right then? So, like, tick, 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 tick.
Is that Australia is really big. Don't think you're going to see it all in a 1-week trip. Saying you're going to go to Australia and hit maybe 4 or 5 of the big cities in the Great Barrier Reef, that's literally like coming to America and like...
I feel like Australia and Canada has this in common too. Like it's a long ass distance from like Vancouver to the next biggest town, which is Calgary. And then Calgary to Edmonton is like really far, and it's really in the wintertime that's very cold in Alberta. But like Vancouver, and then once you pass Calgary, it's pretty much just like the next biggest towns are like Winnipeg and like Saskatoon, pretty much like those middle provinces. There's just nothing essentially before you get out to Ontario, and then you start getting into, but Canada is vast, so I feel like Australia and Canada definitely have that in common. And then big, the bigger metropolis type cities or the metro areas are very, very, very spread out, right? Anything with over, say, 1 million people.
Oh, I'll just do a little trip to, I don't know, go to New York, and maybe we'll hit Northern and then Southern California, and we'll hit Vegas and Florida, and how about Washington, D.C.? They're really far apart. You need time for that. So if you're visiting Australia, either allot yourself a good bit of time or stick to just 1 or 2 areas.
It's basically just Europe where you can hit up a bunch of cool stuff on a train in like a couple days, right?
Number 10, locals will appreciate this one. That is that if you go to Australia, do not call the city in the south Melbourne. That's not how they pronounce it there in Australia. It is Melbourne. Melbourne, not Melbourne. Locals will love to give you shit about this, so if you want to sound like you're a little bit educated and know something about Australia, don't call it Melbourne, Melbourne, Melbourne. If you'd like to know about 10 things you must do when visiting Australia, you can check out that video right over there. Enjoy your trip to Australia, guys. Peace out.
Good stuff. I like how it was just a joke, the thing about the snake, which was my kind of initial thoughts when I saw the thumbnail, but still a funny thumbnail nonetheless. And I enjoyed the fake out. We got it hammered in again that, snakes and poisonous spiders are really not a realistic kind of worry when you're in Australia. The cussing one is funny. I can definitely relate, like especially when I go play hockey, or when I'm in like a kind of locker room setting or barbecue setting, or just like a more like party setting with the guys and the gals. You can definitely get like that, right? It all depends on the time and place, right? So that's funny though. All right. The passport thing was kind of weird too. I guess that makes sense. They want to make sure that you don't have a fake ID, and then the driver's license. The driver's license, like it's for every province from wherever you're from. Like the driver's licenses can be different. They all look funny. When I worked in airports, that was always weird. Like looking at driver's licenses from like less often seen driver's licenses from American states or different countries. They always had their passports to fly anyways, but sometimes they would give us their driver's licenses. However, people in the states were allowed to fly with their driver's licenses. Rules are always changing and stuff like that, but yeah, like certain American driver's licenses, they look weird. Even certain Canadian ones, I'll look at and I'll be like, okay, where do I find like the date of birth on this thing? Like, is it on the back? Is it on the front? Like, what's going on here? The picture's in a different spot. It was like, so I get it. Passports are uniform in design, so makes it easier for the bouncers and the people letting people in to the bar and stuff like that. Good stuff. All right, see you on the next one. That was fun. Cheers.